President Donald Trump, a former reality TV star who spent the 1980s positioning himself as willful, even gleeful tabloid fodder, knows what he is doing when he focuses so intently on black NFL players taking a knee for the national anthem. He is picking a fight with men who cannot possibly muster a full-throated response. He is waging a war in which he has all the leverage, because it is perfectly normal and expected for a president to campaign through his term, but football players must eventually become only football players. So many forces demand it. Cowboys owner Jerry Jones announced Sunday that he would sit any player who does not stand for the flag, while Dolphins owner Stephen Ross said it's incumbent upon the players today, because of how the public is looking at it, to really stand and really salute the flag. Really stand, really salute the flag. Here we have owners regressing to the norm, which is that their product must be unoffensive enough to appeal to the widest segment of possible viewers. The standing up to decades upon decades of systemic racism thing was nifty for a week or two when it made the league look woke, but the majority of owners were never going to foment, let alone allow, some sort of prolonged distraction. Remember, none of them have signed Colin Kaepernick, who is a better football player than at least 30 of the QBs currently in the league. Meanwhile, Trump sending his vice president to a Colts game and telling him to leave after some 49ers players, Kaepernick's old teammates, who have continued his protest, took a knee during the national anthem, is not only expected in today's climate but reveals Trump's true political acumen. He used a dull character, Mike Pence, to make the show interesting. Pence fumbled everything about the political ploy, tweeting out an old picture of himself and revealing to the pool reporters covering his Indianapolis visit that he never really planned to stay at the game. And yet his simple act of leaving early will resonate more with Trump's base than anything Pence ever says. AP photo: Michael Conroy. Trump masterminded that. Even more traditional presidents like Barack Obama and George W. Bush relentlessly campaigned while they governed, but Trump is the producer and star of his show and is always on stage and has been practicing for longer than these players have been alive. He is built for this. The players who continued protesting into this year, remember there were only a few before Trump made it an issue, were not preparing for this particular fight. True, they wanted to use their platform to generate national news and create discussion. That was the point. Many of them have gone on to try to enact change by working with specific charities and organizations, and that was supposed to be the playbook: bold protest, local action. Becoming the focus of the president's campaign was unexpected. Playing in the NFL is exceedingly difficult. I've never done it, so I can't say for sure. It's not like I've run any routes, but it seems quite daunting. Stay in impeccable shape despite playing a violent game every 7 days, memorize a complicated playbook, watch hours upon hours of film to study a new opponent each week, deal with exacting coaches and pesky reporters and other demands. Yeah, the money is good and it's wonderful to make a living playing a game, but there's no reasonable way to look at the job as anything less than incredibly high pressure. And difficult, especially since a player must complete it while staving off the realization that they could be irrevocably damaging their brain while playing. NFL players are not, as far too many emails and tweets I've gotten recently claim, with no backing whatsoever, dumb or unengaged. They're busy, and they work for mercurial billionaires who can easily find replacements for them. And they aren't equipped with the support, nor do they have the time, to wage a public relations campaign against a president who pulled off an historic upset because he knew exactly how he needed to talk to the people who would form his base. San Francisco safety Eric Reid has become the voice of the NFL protest, and he has been careful and insightful in everything he has said. Ultimately, though, Reid is playing a different, and more sincere, game. He is engaging at a level Trump and Pence have no interest in. It's not like Pence wanted to meet with the 49ers to try to understand why they would do something he found so offensive. It's not like Trump is engaging Ta-Nehisi Coates on Twitter. The Apprentice wasn't popular because it explored the nuances of high-level business success. People watched because it pitted simplified characters against each other while they were manipulated by a man looking to bring out the worst in them. When Trump called NFL players sons of expletives, he moved them onto his stage for a production he controls and presents to an audience he selects. Those sons of expletives don't get lines in this show. Kaepernick has mostly tried to stay quiet of his volition, but he spoke with CBS' Jason LeCanfer for a piece leading into Sunday's games. A tweet showing the segment has since been deleted, presumably because LeCanfer said Kaepernick planned to not kneel for the anthem if he returns to the NFL, and people close to him refuted that idea. What was most interesting about this segment, though, was that LeCanfer started by promising us that Kaepernick is in great shape, he's working out, he's dedicated to the game. This is the coded language that's been used to justify Kaepernick's blackballing. We just can't tell if he's devoted enough. He has to show us how much he wants it. which really means football players can't be both. It's either player or activist. There's no room for anything more than a few gestures and some community appearances that can be spun the right way. Trump, meanwhile, can do whatever he pleases, as long as he holds a large enough coalition to keep him in office. Sunday's stunt showed, again, that most of his energy, and some of our tax dollars, are spent entertaining his crow, and they long ago demanded something stronger than a dog whistle.